eating, laughing, while his people suffered. While they were having this feast, he decided that he would show that his power was greater than his grandfather's. And he had the vessels brought. He had the vessels brought from the temple of Yahweh. Yahweh had allowed them to be captured. He had allowed them to be taken because Israel had stopped following him. They had forgotten him. The last good king, Josiah, was long forgotten. And so, Belshazzar, to show his power, his greatness, he would have these vessels brought, and he was going to drink out of them and to pour out libations to his gods, his false gods. There they were. These beautiful vessels of gold, crafted by men, guided by Yahweh himself in their design, held in the hands of these drunken debauchers. And as they lay there in the revelry, there came a hand, and it wrote on one of the walls in letters as if it were a fire. That stopped them. He sent for such counselors as were still able to stand and speak, and they could not understand the words. Read them, yes, but they could not understand them. They did not know what they meant. Finally, in the midst of all of this chaos, Belshazzar's mother, Nebuchadnezzar's daughter, came in. There is one among the counselors of their grandfather in whom the spirit of wisdom dwelt. Send for him. And so they sent for me. Read these words, he said, and give us the meaning. I will put this chain about your neck and my robe about your shoulders. I do not wish your chain. I do not wish your robe, but I will read the words for you. And I will tell you their meaning. I confess I did not hesitate to give him the meaning as I had for his grandfather. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. Your kingdom has been weighed in the balances, and it has been found wanting. And this night it shall be given into the hands of the Medes and the Persians. I can still smell his drunken breath as he came up to me and took his chain from around his neck and placed it over my head. It took the robe from off of his shoulders and put it on my shoulders. That night, the Medes and the Persians stopped the river, and they came in under the river gates. The city was taken, and Belshazzar was no more. And once again, because I chose to honor Yahweh, Yahweh chose to honor me. I was made one of the third rulers of the kingdom. But now we had the law of the Medes and the Persians. No longer the rule of a king, mighty and strong, the word of a king that would be obeyed. No, now we had laws written in stone that could not be changed. Three times a day I would open my windows toward Jerusalem and I would pray to Yahweh. Pray for the restoration of my people. Pray for their forgiveness. I could not be bribed. They found no lever to use against me to further their own interests, and so the other rulers made a plot against me. They knew that they could only reach me through my God, through Yahweh himself. So they went to the king and they flattered him. They confused him with their sweet words, and they said, "O king, live forever. You are such a great and mighty person. Let us make a law and seal it with the king's own ring, that no one can pray to anyone else except for you, no other gods except for you, for 1 month, O king." And since the king did not believe in prayer much himself, it was nothing to him. He gave them his ring. They had the law written. The law was now in stone. I threw open my windows toward Jerusalem to pray. They burst in. So many soldiers for one old Hebrew. I was taken before the king. He knew he had been deceived, tricked, manipulated. He looked for some way that I could be delivered, but the law was the law. It could not be changed. The law was that I was to be thrown to the lions. That would be easy. The Medo-Persians were a cruel people. I have seen them pile the skulls of their enemies stories high. I've seen their generals drive across the field of battle, dragging blades behind their war chariots,